I think a lot of times we like to blame women, and I don't think women are blameless, but feminism could not have existed without men. I mean, even if you look at a woman's right to vote, which I'm not saying is necessarily, it is what it is. We have the right to vote, okay? Is it good that we do? That's a whole other...
Really? You doubt that?
Well, if women could not vote, we would never have another Democrat president ever again. I mean, just the numbers wouldn't be there.
RFK could be a president if he would be a nominee from the
Democratic Party. Well, is he a Democrat
Party
anymore? Though?
He endorsed him, but he didn't change the party.
That's
Tulsi
true.
Gabbard did.
It's probably only
but he is a Democrat.
Yeah.
Just the Democratic Party did not let him go into the primaries.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
So women should vote or not?
Well, I don't want to take away anyone's right to vote, but I think that we were better off when we were married and families were upheld. And I think that the ideal...
Women or the nation?
Everyone. Women, men, the nation. And honestly, okay, personally, I would like to not care about politics. I would prefer to just have a man tell me what to think. And I'm sorry, I don't think that's a minority. I know that women get all up in arms, but I think most women would gladly give up their vote if, and I don't ever think this is going to happen, and I'm not fighting to take away the right to vote from anyone that it's already been given to, but I think women would gladly give up their vote to men and not worry about all this stuff because it's very anxiety producing, and I don't think women are built for it. If we had a standard for men, and if we could trust men to be good men, but I don't think a lot of women trust men. Obviously, there are fewer marriages. So, of course, you need to vote as a single woman because you don't trust these men to vote well. You think they're all out to get you. So, obviously, you need to have your right to vote. It's very precious to you. But if we had a different society, a different culture, something more like what we used to have, I do think, because women were the ones against women's suffrage. You know, a lot of women pushed back against women's suffrage initially, and it was because they didn't want to have that civic duty of like the fire brigade and the draft, et cetera. And it is kind of unjust that women can vote, and yet we're not at risk of the draft, which I certainly don't want women to ever be drafted, but we have no risk of the draft, and men do. And yet a woman can vote to send men to war. Now, the Democrat Party might change that and draft women too, you know, once they get us all into World War III. But as it stands right now, women in Congress and just women civilians can vote in a way that leads us to war. And the men are the ones that are going to die first. So should the men only be voting? Maybe, you know,
But then you've got Iran. Women are not, women are prohibited from voting. And it's basically a misogynistic country.
Yes, but that's, I think, where, again, we've turned our back on God. I think that's where Christianity comes in. And if men are godly men and women are godly women, then it does work out in everyone's favor. Ultimately, I think the patriarchy, when it is actually godly, is protective of women and children. And it benefits women because women are not the same as men. And we're not built for a lot of this stuff. And I think a lot of women have like a visceral reaction to, oh, someone's coming in and taking their rights away or whatever. But in the long run, if they had a better relationship with men, then I think it would be a great comfort to them. I think it would be a liberating thing to shirk off some of this burden.